The internet can be a risky zone for everyone. Our young learners are most vulnerable to the dangers that it may bring. Online hazards may have tragic consequences. But worry no more. Protecting our young learners against threats of the cyber neighborhood is just a matter of awareness. With Google's Be Internet Awesome program, we can help our young learners to be safe and responsible users of the internet. Aiming to promote digital citizenship, Be Internet Awesome anchors on 5 themes called the Internet Code of Awesome. First, be Internet smart or share with care. Second, be Internet alert or don't fall for fake information online. Next is be Internet strong or secure your private information. It is followed by be Internet kind or don't be a cyber bully. And last is be Internet brave or talk it out when in doubt. To support its pedagogical value, Be Internet Awesome is supported by tools and resources evaluated by the International Society for Technology in Education and received the seal of alignment for readiness. To begin, let's get some light on the engaging computer game called Interland. Interland is intended for learners aged 7 to 12. It provides fun and adventure-packed hands-on experiences to help young learners discover safety measures in using technology. Players will be called Internauts. Internauts will explore 4 floating islands: the King Kingdom, the Reality River, the Mindful Mountain, and the Tower of Treasure. Each island features a challenging game equivalent to a different lesson. Internauts will collaboratively embark on a quest to combat evil hackers, phishers, oversharers, and bullies by practicing online safety and online etiquette. With this free interactive game, young learners will be empowered to achieve technological independence. It will also help them to distinguish between safe and unsafe behavior in online interactions. This includes attaining a sense of what to share on the internet and whom to share it with, depending on the content. Now, let's take a look at the Be Internet Awesome curriculum. The Be Internet Awesome curriculum features teaching guides on topics such as privacy and security, cyberbullying and online cruelty, phishing and scams, online reputation, and inappropriate content. Aside from teaching guides, the Be Internet Awesome curriculum also contains posters, worksheets, and slide decks that can be used concurrently with the game Interland. To encourage the entire family in promoting safe internet usage, the Be Internet Awesome Pledge can be reviewed and signed all together by parents and their children. Still, the most important safety measure is open communication between the members of the family and the school. Together, we can close the gap that surrounds the digital citizenship of young learners in the present technological age. Remember, play safe, learn safe, and stay safe.
Mabuhay! Isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat. Ako ang inyong lingkod, Tutor Madge. Welcome sa ating ETUlay, ang ating libreng online tutorial na hatid ng ating kagawaran ng edukasyon, ICTS EdTech. Ang programang ito ay inaasahang makatutulong at maging karagdagang kaalaman sa mga mag-aaral mula kinder hanggang senior high school, ALS, Alive, at SPED learners. Bukod sa pagsagot ng mga modules, ang ETUlay ay may mga special programs din na siguradong aabangan ninyo araw-araw. Katuwang ang ating mga minamahal na mga magulang at guro ay maitutulay natin ang pagkatuto. Kaya, ihanda na ang inyong module, lapis, papel o kwaderno. Ihanda rin ang isip, mata at tenga sa isa na namang makabuluhang aralin. Tayo nang matuto kasama ang inyong volunteer online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hello, good afternoon, Tutor Tony.
Hello, Tutor Wendy, and good afternoon po sa ating mga ka-GB1, ayan, General
GB1,
watching right now, mga parents natin, of course, our teachers, and most especially our senior high school learners na talaga namang every week ay nakatutok, no, kay Tutor Wendy.
Yan, totoo yan, Tutor Tony.
Oo. Ayan. So, ano bang i-discuss natin for this particular week, Tutor Wendy?
Tutor Tony, we are now on week 3 for quarter 2 at ang ating topic for today ay ang ating light-dependent reactions. So almost half na po tayo ng ating quarter. Now, Tutor Tony, bago tayo mag-start, yung mga usual reminders muna natin sa ating mga students. Okay, so please ready your pens and papers so you can jot down notes at saka you can participate in our discussion. So listen, learn, and participate. Don't forget to like and share itong ating tutorial para mas marami siyang maabot at mas marami tayong maturuan. And also, respect one another. Yung ating pong comment section ay gamitin lang natin para sa makabuluhang comments. So iwasan po natin mag-comment ng hindi naman related dito sa ating tutorial.
Oo, kumbaga ang sabi nga natin lagi, no, Tutor Wendy, GB lang, good vibes and
good vibes
learning
lang.
while having fun lang tayo this afternoon.
Yes. Now, i-remind din natin, Tutor Tony, ang ating mga students to do their attendance check para nakikita natin ang ating mga usual viewers. So, they only have to comment their name. Marami na, 21 na nakita ko sa... So, yan. Alam na ng mga usual natin yan, viewers, their name, their grade and section school, and their Gen Bio 1 teacher. So, sa mga bago pong nanonood, don't forget na mag-attendance check para din ma-recognize namin kayo at ang inyong mga schools and teachers. So, may event ba tayo this week, Tutor Tony?
Alright, yes. Actually, on December 1, we will be observing what we call wait lang, lakihan ko lang po yung screen ko. So we have the World AIDS Day that is on December 1. And as we all know, the HIV or the human immunodeficiency virus remains a major public health issue, no, according sa data ng World Health Organization. So HIV is actually the virus na nagkukos ng AIDS. So AIDS naman it stands for the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. And for this year, 2021, our theme for observing this particular event is End Inequalities and AIDS. So hoping pa rin po tayo, no, Tutor Wendy, na because of the advancement of our research, specifically sa biology, kasi related to sa biological science.
Yes.
No? Hopefully, in the near future, we'll have a cure, no, a cure or a treatment for this nakakamatay na sakit. So we advise, of course, our viewers na irespeto, syempre, no, respect pa rin ang key sa ating mga, if we know someone who is suffering from this particular disease or ailment, no, so they need to be treated with much respect, and of course they need much of our love. And of course, tomorrow may event din tayo, I think, no, Tutor Wendy.
Oo, meron tayong i-celebrate na national holiday. Tama ba? Yun ba ang iniisip natin pareho?
And that is our Bonifacio Day.
Yes, so medyo relax
natin ang kagitingan at kahusayan ng ating matapang na leader na si Andres Bonifacio.
Yes. So, Tutor Tony, although holiday bukas, tuloy pa rin ang mga ETUlay sessions, di ba?
Please tell your teachers, your parents, and your tawag dito, schoolmates, ayun. Schoolmates pa rin, syempre, kahit virtual lang. Tell your schoolmates na tuloy pa rin ang ating mga tutorials for tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, na. So, now naman, Tutor Tony, dadako tayo. Siguro ito excited yung mga students natin kasi
Oo.
ayan. So, ito na yung time natin to appreciate and thank our
Yes.
partners for week
Mm.
2.
Oo.
Ayan.
Last week, ang aming mga learning partners. So, simulan ko na po, Tutor Wendy, no? So, we are
Yes,
saying
Tutor
thank
Tony.
you, of course, ang ating co-tutor sa Science 7, si Tutor Jen Pepito of Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School at ang kanyang Jen Bio 1 Warriors, Alexandra Almarie, Arcane, Bea Marie, Bianca Nicole, Charles J, Drew Avinash, Eddie John. Sana napapronounce ko ng maayos yung names nila.
Oh,
Eddie John, ang ganda ng names,
napaka-tricky.
no? Napaka-millennial talaga. Elena Gil,
Yes.
Jemuel, Glidel, James Ed DH, Kier, Christine, Nicole Kite, Hezekiah John, Arian Sofia, and Bea Katrina. Siyempre, hindi rin pauhuli. Sino Carlene, Celester Joy, Edel May, John Raven, John Carl, Juvenile, Carl Bryan, Kendrick, Lady Isaiah, Marty Steele, Mark Allen, Marlon, Mary Joy, Natasha, Nicole, Princess, Samantha, and si Sean Ashley.
Ayan,
They are all, I
napaka-active
think they're
talaga
all
ng mga
watching right now from
Yes,
Daniel
sigurado yan,
Aragonado,
Tutor Tony.
mga taga Davao City. And right now naman, punta tayo sa Isabela, sa Jones Rural School, courtesy of Ma'am Cheryl G. Reyes at ang kanyang mga Bio Warriors, mga active students natin. So we have Frances, Janelle, good afternoon sa inyo, John Aero, Roanne, Aliza May, Celine Gray, Charmaine Edison, Hannah, Hazel, Jemina, John Wayne, Ken Cyril, Randolph AJ, Ryzan, Yadine, and Whitney. And of course, saying our special shout out and thank you kay Ma'am Lady Lindukay. So partner din po namin siya sa Earth and Life Science. So
Hi,
she's from
ma'am.
Padre Garcia National High School. Hello po Ma'am Lady Lynn. And her students, we have Nicole Angela, Chanel, Benedict, Donna, Era, Eunice, Ian Dave, JC, Jerwin, Russell, Jonathan, Kathleen, Ken Gerson, Kenneth, Via Pauline, Key Bird, Laika, Mina, and Midge Roniel. Alright, grabe ang mga names ha. And we also have from San Miguel National High School and saying our thank you to Ma'am Mary Joanne V. Aquino. Salamat po sa patuloy na pagsuporta sa Gen
Yes,
Bio 1
thank you, ma'am.
aming mga tutorial sessions kasama ang kanyang Bio 1 Army, Jello, Alvin, Teresa, Sheena, Einstein, wow, nice name. Joanna,
Ganda.
Tim Harvey, Nerissa, Rhea May, and Princess Divine. Mukhang nadami pa to, no, Tutor Wendy.
Oh, ito last slide na natin to, Tutor Tony.
And of course, our second semester tutor, always na nag-share ng aming mga sessions.
Yes,
Maraming
ma'am.
salamat sa suporta. I think she's watching right now. Tutor Easter
Hi, ma'am.
Boralio from Horacio de la Costa Senior High School, Caloocan City, together with her student Jonalyn Jerusalem. We also have from Pinagkawitan Integrated National High School, partner school din namin to sa ELS, sa Lipa City, Batangas. So we have Jade Marie and Ma Melanie.
Okay, so
Thank you,
last week, Tutor Tony, nagpa-assignment kami ni Tutor Eric para kasi lahat naman sila talaga active dito sa ating session para naman makita natin kung sino talaga yung ating mga top students. And very happy tayo, Tutor Tony, na mayroong mga tumugon sa ating
nag-e-effort din sa ELS. Ako yung nag-check ng mga
Oo
outputs nila, nakakatuwa yung suporta nila sa ating mga tutorial session. So let's
So,
begin.
nakaka-happy naman. Yes, so ito na yung ating mga top bio active students.
Ayan, oh.
At ang kanilang mga outputs, Tutor Tony.
Oo. So we are saying congratulations, #mahusay sa inyong lahat.
Ayan.
School, Germina, Gwyneth, or Agustin. We have John Aero V. Domingo, Hannah Del Rosario. So I think you asked them, no, Tutor Wendy, to research more about the applications na
yung practical applications. So merong nagbigay ng betalins, yung ating chlorophyll, and yung ating mga carotenoids.
Oo. Na very important sa biological system. We also have from the same school, no? We have John Wayne Prieto, Rowan Joy A. Bulan from Jones Rural.
Ayan. So, congratulations, John Wayne and Roan. And then, syempre, hindi naman pauhuli yung ating mga taga Daniel R. Aguinaldo National High School.
1, week 1, kasama na natin sila. No? So, we have Jean Glidel Oplado, Elena Gail Remorosa, and Almarie Macarayo. Maraming salamat sa inyo. #mahusay na pagtugon sa performance output ni Tutor Wendy
Yes.
at ni Tutor
So,
Eric. Yan.
kahit meron na silang marami na silang ginagawa sa school, na isingit pa nila. So, thank you, and congratulations po sa ating mga students.
Somehow pang distress din, no? Kumbaga,
Kaya,
ilalabas
may iba naman. Okay, Tutor Tony, ano ba ang ating learning competency for this week?
Sa ating mga learners, our specific objective or our MEC for this week is we have to describe the patterns of electron flow through light reaction events. Ayan. So medyo may konting chemistry this afternoon, Tutor Wendy.
Medyo
monitor natin
technical.
Yung pag-transfer ng electrons.
Medyo technical, pero try natin na gawing simple lang yung ating explanation para hindi naman masyadong madugo. Okay? So, Tutor Tony, review muna tayo. Kasi last week, we already started with our 3-part discussion sa ating photosynthesis. So, hinati namin siya ni Tutor Eric sa 3 parts para hindi naman masyadong overloaded sa ating information. So, as a review, yung ating photosynthesis, it is a building up or anabolic process na ginagamit ng most autotrophs such as yung ating plants so they can produce or make their own food. Now, it can be presented in an equation, in a chemical equation. So, kita naman dyan sa ating presentation. So, carbon dioxide plus water with the energy coming from sunlight can produce sugar, usually yung ating glucose, and yung ating byproduct na oxygen. So, last week, Tutor Tony, pinag-aralan din natin yung structure ng chloroplast. So, meron siyang iba't ibang parts, yung ating organelle na to. We have the chloroplast envelope, which consists of the inner and the outer membrane. Yung ating stroma, which is the gel or the ground substance inside the chloroplast surrounding yung ating mga flattened membranes or flattened disc na tinatawag na thylakoid. So, parang pancake siya. And these thylakoids, coins, they are arranged in stacks na mukha ngang coins, Tutor Tony. Ang tawag naman dun sa kanilang arrangement ay yung ating grana kapag sila ay marami. Pag iisa lang yung stack, we call it the granum. So, important to, binanggit ko sa kanila na alam nila yung parts ng chloroplast kasi iba't ibang stages ng ating photosynthesis would happen in different parts or in different areas inside our chloroplast. So, pinag-aralan din last week yung ating mga photosynthetic pigments like yung ating chlorophyll and ang ating carotenoid. Okay, so
I'm sure makakasunod na sila this week, no, Tutor Wendy, kasi na-trace na nila or na-identify na nila yung mga particular parts ng chloroplast natin.
Kasi parang continuation lang din naman yung ating mga sessions this quarter. So, generally, pwede naman nating hatiin yung ating photosynthesis into 2 stages. So, we have yung ating light-dependent reactions at saka yung tinatawag natin na Calvin cycle. So, sa ating light-dependent reaction, it would need the sunlight. Kaya nga sinabing light-dependent reaction, it needs sunlight for it to be able to proceed or to occur. Kaya minsan, meron ding term sa kanya, Tutor Tony, na ang tawag sa kanya ay light reaction. So, meron mga references na ang tawag sa kanya ay light reaction. And then, yung Calvin cycle naman, kung yung light reaction, kailangan niya ng sunlight para mag-proceed. Yung Calvin cycle, it doesn't require sunlight. So, tinatawag din siyang light-independent reaction. At saka yung sinabi mo nga, Tutor Tony, baka ma-encounter din lang yung term na dark reaction.
So, ibang reference, they're using that particular term or phrase.
Pero teachers nowadays, refrain from using yung term na dark reaction. Kasi minsan nagkakaroon ng misconception, Tutor Tony, yung mga estudyante natin na yung Calvin cycle ay nangyayari lamang sa gabi, sa dark, kapag walang araw. Pero this is not the case. Kaya lang siya tinawag na dark reaction, siguro kasi opposite ng ating light reaction na kailangan ng light. Yung Calvin cycle, it does not require sunlight, pero nagpro-proceed siya simultaneously with yung ating light-dependent reaction. So, kahit may sunlight, nagkakaroon pa rin ng, or nagpo-proceed pa rin yung Calvin cycle. So, wag na daw masyadong gamitin yung term na dark reaction.
Dark
Ang
reaction.
ang pinakamaganda daw talagang gamitin, ang pinaka-fitting would be light
Light
independent.
independent.
Yes,
Ayun.
kasi hindi siya nakadepende sa energy coming from the sun. Now, sa
Yan.
session natin na ito, Tutor Tony, ang ating focus would be yung first stage, yung ating light-dependent reaction. Now, the light-dependent reaction occurs doon sa ating thylakoid membranes. Kung natatandaan nila, yung thylakoid membrane. Then, sa light-dependent reaction, ang nangyayari dito, the light energy would be converted to chemical energy in the form of yung mga high-energy molecules na ATP and NADPH. And this reaction, pwede rin siyang i-represent ng isang chemical equation. So, dito, makikita natin dito sa baba, we have energy from sunlight plus water. It would produce ATP, NADPH, yung ating mga high energy molecules, and yung byproduct na oxygen. Now, the light-dependent reaction would involve photosystems and an electron transport chain. Ito ay mga protein molecules na embedded doon sa ating thylakoid membrane. So, ipapakita natin yan.
Later on.
Oo, so we have here yung ating cross-section ng ating thylakoid membrane. So, para malinaw, di ba, dito sa top, so this is our thylakoid membrane. Tulad din siya ng cell membrane made up of lipid bilayer then with embedded proteins. Sa top, nandito yung ating ito yung magiging outside ng ating thylakoid membrane. So, yan yung ating chloroplast stroma that is outside the thylakoid membrane. And then dito sa ating ibaba, this would represent the inside of our thylakoid membrane, which is our tinatawag na thylakoid lumen. So, important din itong, alam niyo yung stroma and lumen, mamaya as we proceed with our discussion. So, embedded dyan yung ating mga protein complexes. So, we have our Photosystem II or PS2. So, it is a type of protein complex. We also have our Photosystem I or PS1. At saka yung iba pa, ito yung mga major. So, marami pa namang mga proteins embedded dito. We have our cytochrome B6F complex and yung ating ATP synthase. So, as we proceed with our discussion, malalaman natin ano ba yung role na ginagampanan ng mga protein complexes na ito. But we must focus dito sa ating mga tinatawag na photosystems. So ano ba yung mga photosystems? So these are pigment-containing protein complexes that contain reaction centers. So ang parts niya would be yung kanyang absorbing pigment. So yan yung unang nai-extract ng light or photon. And then meron siyang, meron siyang antenna pigments. So magbabounce dyan yung mga, yung energy coming from the photon until it reaches yung tinatawag na reaction center kung saan magkakaroon ng excitation of electrons. So there are two types of photosystems. Nabanggit na natin yung kanina. We have Photosystem I or PS1 and we have Photosystem II or PS2. Yes, so we have here a table that shows a comparison. Actually, differences. Yung differences ng Photosystem II at saka yung Photosystem I. Now, dito sa ating table, inuna ko, Tutor Tony, yung Photosystem II. Kahit ang pangalan niya 2, ano? Kasi sa process mamaya, makikita natin. Siya talaga yung nauunang ihit ng sunlight. Kaya marami nagtatanong, siya pala yung nauunang ihit ng sunlight. Bakit siya si Photosystem 2? Oo, kasi daw po, Tutor Tony, mas naunang na-discover si Photosystem 1. So, yun lang ang dahilan kung bakit 2 siya. Kasi mas late siyang na-discover. Although sa process, mas nauuna siya. So, ang difference nila, ang reaction center ng Photosystem II is yung tinatawag na P680. Now, P stands for pigment and 680 would represent yung wavelength ng light na na-absorb niya. So, 680 nanometers, yan yung highest absorption na kayang gawin ng ating PS2. Now, for PS1, ang kanyang reaction center ay P700. So yung best absorption niya would happen sa wavelength na 700. Now PS2 absorb shorter wavelengths, yung mga less than 680 nanometers, while yung PS1 absorbs longer wavelengths, those that are greater than 680 nanometers. Now, when it comes to chlorophyll content, di ba meron tayong iba't ibang types ng chlorophyll. Yung chlorophyll A and B, yan ang involved sa ating photosynthesis. Sa photosystem 2, mas marami yung kanyang content na chlorophyll B compared sa chlorophyll A. Kabaligtad naman dun sa ating photosystem 1 na mas maraming chlorophyll A as compared to chlorophyll B. And then sa photosystem 2, it is associated with the splitting of water molecules, while photosystem 1 is not associated with the splitting of water molecules. Makikita rin nila yan, Tutor Tony, mamaya kapag diniscuss na natin yung pinaka-process. Okay?
Yeah.
So, kamusta naman, Tutor Tony, ang ating mga estudyante?
Mga viewers, kumbaga, ito, umuulan na ng comments from Daniel Aguinaldo. Sige, shoutoutan po tayo mabilis. Saying good afternoon, mga ka-GB1, Princess Divine Piñones, Hannah del Rosario. We also have Hezekiah. Daming hangin. Hezekiah John Rage Mercado. Also from Daniel R. Aguinaldo. We also have from, ayan, ang ating suki din from San Miguel National High School, si Trixie May. We also have Lady Isaiah, Mark Jeeve, and Hannah del Rosario. Saying good afternoon din sa nanonood ngayon, si Tutor Jules, na aking partner sa Earth and Life
Science. Hi, Tutor Jules. Hi, ma'am.
Ayan. Si Frances Carol Bayan, na feature na rin namin to sa ALS, na active din pala sa inyo. Wow, very good. Mahusay talaga. Alright, we are now ready to discuss the different stages na ating light-dependent reactions. So,
hinati natin sa 3 stages yung ating light-dependent reaction. So, the first stage would be the excitation of photosystems and yung photolysis ng ating water molecule. So, ano lang tayo, Tutor Tony, focus tayo dito sa ating cross-section ng thylakoid membrane para makita nila yung involvement ng mga protein complexes dun sa process ng ating light-dependent reaction. So, ang unang mangyayari would be yung excitation ng photosystems. So, sinabi na nga kanina natin, ang unang mahihit ng sunlight would be yung ating PS2 or yung ating photosystem 2 na may P680 na reaction center. So, kapag na-hit siya ng light, yung energy would excite an electron. Now, yung mga excited electron, very unstable sila. They are at a very high energy state. Kaya ang tendency nila would be to jump from one molecule to another. Parang pinapababa nila yung parang ano sila, malikot.
Parang estudyante natin, no, Tutor Wendy.
Oo, lilipat ng classroom. So, sa paglipat nila, Tutor Tony, syempre nababawasan yung kanilang energy, nagre-release sila ng energy, hanggang sa dumating sila dun sa point na yung energy nila ay stable na. So, yan ang nangyayari sa
goal ng mga atoms natin for them to be stable. Hanap yan ng paraan para maging stable.
Yes. Now, yung mga molecules na nag-a-accept, yung mga electron acceptor molecules natin, Tutor Tony, it would comprise yung electron transport chain ng ating photosynthesis. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga molecules na yan? So, ang pinakauna talagang electron acceptor is yung ating tinatawag na phaeophytin. Pero dito sa ating diagram, hindi natin siya makikita because it is within yung PS2. Nasa loob siya ng ating PS2 complex. So, after nung ating phaeophytin, medyo mataas pa rin yung kanyang energy level. Ipapass na naman siya sa another molecule, and that is our plastoquinone. Yung next would be, yung next complex, makikita nyo mga students, pag tinignan nyo maigi yung diagram, yung electrons natin patalon-talon siya. So, after plastoquinone, pupunta naman siya sa cytochrome B6F complex. And after the B6F complex, sa plastocyanin, until ma-reach naman niya yung ating PS1 complex, yung ating photosystem 1. So, yan yung tinatawag na excitation of photosynthesis. systems. So stop muna tayo dito kay PS1. Balik ulit tayo doon sa PS2. So again, pag na-hit ng light yung ating photosystem 2, magre-release siya ng electrons, yung na-excite na electrons. Kaya ang nangyayari is parang nagkakaroon siya ng hole or ng gap na kailangan niyang punuan. I mean, kailangan may ma-replace yung nawalang electron na yon, hindi pwedeng mayroong gap, di ba? So, saan siya kukuha ngayon ng replacement electron? Ang sagot dyan is from the water molecule. So, yes, so pag tinignan niyo yung ating PS2 molecule, sa ibaba niya, there would be a water molecule.
May water molecule, nakaantabay, always, on call,
now,
ika nga.
Yes. Oo, lagi available dapat siya during photosynthesis. Now, yun daw pong ating P680, kapag yan ay nawala ng electron, nagiging very strong oxidizing agent siya. Ibig sabihin ay nang-aagaw siya ng electron. And ang aagawan niya ngayon ng electron ay yung ating water. So yung ating PS2 has a water oxidation site. Ang nangyayari sa water, nag-i-split siya into oxygen and hydrogen. Kasi yung hydrogen, meron siyang associated electron. Yun ngayon, yung pinang-re-replace doon sa na-excite na electron kanina when it was hit by sunlight. Nagkaroon siya ng energy. So, that is our stage 1.
Ang nakakatuwa sa mga gantong stages naman, although pag titingnan mo siya, very complicated, pero somehow kapag diniscuss or inaral mo yung bawat stages, you get to appreciate, diba? And somehow relate mo pa yan sa totoong buhay, no? So, yung pang-aagaw na ginawa ni PS2.
Yes. Meron kasi mga, kaya
although,
hindi siya makatiis na wala.
May purpose naman ang kanyang pang-aagaw. Ayan.
Sabi nga, to fill the hole or to fill the gap. Parang may butas daw.
Oo. Ganon.
Tutor Tony, let's go to our second.
Yes, second stage
second stage na tayo. This is yung ating generation of ATP by the electron transport chain. So, mapapansin nyo, dun sa bawat stage mayroong product. So, yung product natin dun sa first stage would be yung ating oxygen. So, dito naman tayo sa generation of ATP by the electron transport. Paano ba nangyayari ito? Balik. Yes, yung ating high energy molecule. Balik ulit tayo dito sa cross-section ng ating thylakoid. Now, dito tayo, Tutor Tony, kapag na-excite yung electron, di ba, jump siya. Tapos, nagre-release, sa pag-jump niya, nagre-release siya ng energy. So, nagbi-build up yung energy dito sa ating stroma. Ang ginagawa ngayon ng energy, it would force yung mga hydrogen ions, yung mga H+, ifo-force niya na lumipat from the stroma to the lumen. Ipapump niya ngayon yung energy coming from the excited electron, ipapump niya yung hydrogen papasok doon sa ating thylakoid lumen. Kaya ang nangyayari ngayon, Tutor Tony, dumadami yung hydrogen ions inside the thylakoid lumen. Nagke-create siya ngayon ng concentration gradient. Ngayon, pinag-usapan na natin yan dati sa ating transport mechanisms, di ba? Pag may concentration gradient, ang tendency niya is mag-move ngayon yung mga ions from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. Now, dito sa ating thylakoid membrane, ang high concentration ay sa loob, sa lumen, kasi nga napapump yung hydrogen inside. Tapos, pag nag-split pa yung water into oxygen and hydrogen, additional hydrogen na naman niya. Kaya tumataas yung concentration ng hydrogen. Ang tendency ngayon ng hydrogen ay mag-move through yung tinatawag nating chemioosmosis. So, parang di ba osmosis would be movement, di ba? Yes. Familiar tayo sa water movement. Dito pag sinabi mong chemioosmosis, ions ang nagmo-move down the concentration gradient. Since mas mataas ang concentration ng hydrogen ions sa lumen, ang gusto nila lumabas sa stroma. And they do this through a transport protein that hindi sila makakapag-pass through directly doon sa ating lipid bilayer. Dadaan sila sa isang transport protein. Yun yung ating ATP synthase.
So, kailangan ng aid ng ating mga transport proteins, no? Very
sa ating
movement ng ating mga learners sa ginagawang aid ng mga enzymes, di ba? When we talk about the role of enzymes in biological systems.
Yes. Now, Tutor Tony, as the hydrogen pass through yung ATP synthase, habang lumalabas sila, meron pa silang isang ginagawa. Na-fuel ngayon nila yung ATP synthase na mag-produce ngayon ng ATP from ADP. Parang pinapaandar niya kasi daw yung pag tinignan niyo yung ating ATP synthase, parang meron siyang circular head. So, it's like a motor daw na kapag nagpapasa yung mga hydrogen, umiikot yan. And sa process,
mechanical to a certain form of energy, chemical energy.
Yes. So, kumukuha ng energy mula dun sa chemiosmosis. Ang ginagawa niya, nag-a-add ngayon ng phosphate doon sa ating ADP to produce yung ating ATP.
Alright.
Okay, so sana malinaw yan sa ating mga students. Napo-form ang ATP kasi tumataas ang concentration, nagkakaroon ng chemiosmosis. At yung movement ng hydrogen ions, yan ngayon yung nag-fuel sa ating ATP synthase to produce ATP from ADP. Yan na naman, isa na namang product yan ng ating light-dependent reaction, yung ATP.
The production of ATP.
Yes,
and number 2.
Dito na tayo sa ating last stage, yung ating formation. Yes, yung formation ng ating NADPH, another high energy molecule. So, Tutor Tony, balik tayo dun sa ating excited electron. Ayan, huminto tayo kanina kay PS1. So, medyo bumaba na yung energy level niya. Kapag dating niya sa PS1, dahil yan ay light harvesting molecule, tatamaan na naman siya ng sunlight, Tutor Tony. Yes. So, ma-excite na naman yan si electron na nasa PS1. Magta-transfer na naman siya sa ibang electron acceptor. First, yung ating ferredoxin. And ang ating last electron acceptor would be yung ating NADP+. So, mag-a-attach sa kanya yung hydrogen at saka yung associated electron, magpo-form ngayon siya ng NADPH. Yan. So, Tutor Tony, makikita natin doon sa process, yung tatlo nating products ng light-dependent reaction, yung ating oxygen from the splitting of water, yung ating ATP, di ba, driven by chemiosmosis, and then itong ating NADPH product na last electron acceptor. So, yan ngayon yung nangyari doon sa excited electron from Photosystem II. So, ano ngayon, yung mga products na yan, Tutor Tony, would be then used by yung ating next stage, yung Calvin cycle, yung ATP and NADPH. Now, alam naman natin yung oxygen is a byproduct. So, mare-release lang siya sa atmosphere. Now, the Calvin cycle would be discussed next week.
Yun. So, kumbaga related, no? Now, light-dependent tayo this week. Next week would be the light-independent.
Light-independent. Ayan. Sana naintindihan ng ating mga students ang ating explanation.
Naintindihan yan ang ating mga hashtag mahusay na mga estudyante.
Sige nga, Tutor Tony. I-check natin sila.
Yeah. Time for you to
yan, sa ating bio quiz.
Our bio quiz for week number 3. Ayan, ready na ating mga keypads. Keypads talaga yun, no? Keypad warriors, no? Sabi.
Yes.
Alright, let's have question number 1. In Photosystem II, an electron is transferred to an electron acceptor, as have mentioned kanina, no? The question is, which molecule supplies the lost electron in the reaction center? Is it glucose, oxygen, or yung RuBisCO natin, or water? Sige nga.
Ayan.
Ayan,
looking at our comment sections, Tutor Tony.
Ayan, nagpaparamdam ng ating mga bioactive students. So keep it coming. So make sure lang to analyze mabuti. Isa yan sa mga important skill na dapat alam na ng ating mga senior high school learners. We have to analyze. No copying, ha?
Nangopya na yung mga, ayan, mostly ID. Yes, okay, so, mostly ID. So, tama naman ang kailangan answer, it is D. Binanggit naman natin yan kanina, di ba? Ang nag-fill ng hole ay si water. Nag-i-split. Pero nag-i-split yun. Nag-split muna, tapos binigay. Napakabait. Napakabait ni water.
In real life, kailangan good vibes, love. Alright, very good for question number 1. Let's try number 2. The first stage first stage of the light-dependent reaction is the excitation of electrons. Yung mga na-excited natin mga estudyante dati, di ba? Comparing to the electrons. So, saan nangyayari to? Ang dali lang naman pala ng question number 2. Where does this happen? A, photosystem I only. B, photosystem II only. C, photosystem 1 and 2. Medyo napaisip ata sila. Or sa letter D, electron transport chain. Sige nga mga anak.
Medyo tricky din to eh. Kasi excitation of electrons. Aba, mostly nagsasagot ng B sa photosystem II only. Oh, talaga ba? Yun lang ba ang nahit ng sunlight?
Siyempre kapag nahit ng mga photon particles yan, ma-excite yan.
Yes. Tapos mag-jump na siya. Tapos mapupunta siya dun sa isa pa. Bigay na ba natin ang tamang sagot, Tutor Tony? Kasi mostly ang sinasagot nila ay B. Okay, so the answer is C. So remember Tutor Tony, ay meron ba humahabol yung tamang sagot nung naibigay na natin?
Hindi, wala po. Bawi na lang sa next questions natin. Ayun, may nakatama. Si Glide
meron. Ayan.
Jamina Agustin is also correct. Lady Isaiah, ang ating mga bioactive students. And so keep it coming. Let's proceed with question number 3. What are the products of the light-dependent reaction? O, tandaan ha, ano yung mga minention naming products ni Tutor Wendy sa tatlong stages na yun. So, your options are A, ADP plus the NADP plus. Letter B, ATP plus the NADPH. C, your ATP and your glucose. Or letter D, glucose plus oxygen. Sige, try to recall, refresh.
Medyo tricky din to, Tutor Tony. Siguro, they should give yung best answer. Alin dyan ang best answer
for this? What are the products Kasi dalawa lang yung binigay. Ano yung dalawang mag-fit?
So, siguro, what are the main products?
Products of our life.
Yan. So, may sumasagot ng, iba-iba. May B, may A, may B.
Mabuti ang mga letters.
Mukhang medyo tricky ang ating
medyo konti naman yung sumasagot ng A.
Okay. Mostly ay
B. At saka D.
Sabi ko tricky to no? So, ang main products would be yung ating mga high energy molecules, ATP and NADPH. So, yung iba sumasagot ng D kasi yung oxygen. Pero remember, guys, sabi ko, best answer, hindi pa napoproduce ang glucose at this stage. Diba, Tutor Tony? Hindi pa naman natin nabanggit na nag-produce na ng
final na kasi yung sa glucose.
So, ang answer ay B.
Product. The best answer would be B, ATP plus.
Yes. NADPH.
All right. Number 4 naman, sige, let's try to analyze the choices sa mga ka-GB1. What happens to the oxygen produced in the light-dependent reaction? What will happen to oxygen? A, it is used in the Calvin cycle. B, it is released into the atmosphere. C, it combines with NADPH to produce water. Or D, it is recycled as a reactant in the next light-dependent reaction. Let's try to figure out what would be the best answer for question number 4.
So, may sumasagot na B. Wala na ako ibang nakikitang ibang answer.
Tutor Tony. Sabi
Google. Ang bilis nyo, Nakakapag-Google pa, Ayan.
So, wala naman, no? Kasi kung nakinig kayo.
Ang bilis naman nila. Oo. So, final answer natin, Tutor Tony, is
very good sila.
Ayan, mostly B naman. Ayan. Kaya nga tawag sa kanya minsan ay byproduct, Tutor Tony, kasi nare-release na lang siya Unlike yung other two, nagagamitin pa ulit sa ating
by other living organisms.
Yes.
Let's have
and the last one.
The final question. A damage in the thylakoid membrane caused the protons to leak into the stroma. Yun ang situation natin. So here's the question. Which of the following processes will be mostly affected or will be most affected? A, the synthesis of our ATP. B, the splitting of water. Kasi nag-leak yung mga protons, no? Ano kaya mangyayari? Letter C, the absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll. Or maapektuhan mostly yung flow of electrons from PS2 to PS1. Okay, sige.
Most affected daw, Tutor Tony, by the proton
Napaisip
leak.
muli para
Kaya
matigilan
nga.
sila.
Kaya nga,
Mukhang ano nga,
analysis. Ayan.
challenge. Oo, very
Oy.
challenging, no?
Yes,
Pero
oo.
kayang-kaya ng ating mga hashtag mahusay learners.
Yan ang sinasagot nila ay yung D, yung flow of electrons. So, remember guys, ha, sabi, mostly affected. Yung most affected. Although, syempre, Tutor Tony, pag may damage yung thylakoid, affected na lahat yan, di ba?
Oo, kumbaga
Oo,
chain
pero ang tanong
reaction
natin,
yan eh.
ano kaya yung most affected dahil sa
Mhm.
proton leak? Okay, so bigay na ba natin ang tamang sagot, Tutor Tony? Ang ating tamang sagot ay, guys, it is
Ayan, may
A.
nakatama pa rin naman.
Meron
Alright.
ba? Wow,
Oo, medyo
congrats.
nag-move
So
lang
yung
si comment section natin. Pero nice try,
synthesis
no,
of
letter
ATP.
D.
Yes.
Although maapektuhan pa rin yung movement ng electrons, but the best answer would
Would
be
be yung
letter
synthesis
A.
of ATP. Kasi nga, di ba kanina, sinabi natin, nakadepende yan sa concentration gradient. Na kapag nag-leak na palabas yung mga hydrogen, edi hindi, wala nang concentration gradient. Tutor Tony, di ba? Nag-leak na yung mga
Oo.
ions natin eh. Oh. Kaya,
Waiting for
so
the yung nakasagot
Mm.
kanina. Hindi ko na sorry.
Yan.
Anyways,
Tingnan natin.
congratulations. Well done sa ating bio quiz for
Oo.
quarter 2, week number 3. Ayan, maraming salamat sa inyong active
So,
participation. And for our words to ponder, Tutor Wendy.
sorry. So,
Okay
meron
po.
tayo dito. Ayan. So, nakita ko to. The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. O, di ba? Talaga naman plant trees. So, parang gagawa ka, Tutor Tony, gagawa ka ng kabutihan na wala ka na-expect na kapalit.
Yes, no. As sa mga senior high school learners siguro minsan may ano silang parang idealism na parang pag ginawan kita ng something good, gawan mo rin ako. Although nature 'yun ng nating mga tao. Pero minsan kasi masakit na mag-expect, yes, hugot.
Lalo na mga Pinoy, Tutor Tony, kasi 'di ba tayo yung may utang na loob, yung parang ganoon, no.
True, natin, one of our values natin 'yun, no, yung utang na loob.
Yung utang na loob.
Somehow kahit hindi natin sabihin, we're expecting in return. Pero minsan kapag nag-expect tayo in return kasi
disappointed, 'di ba, no? You are bound to be disappointed kasi hindi naman lahat talaga maibabalik yung naibibigay mo. Okay?
Yes.
So, let's be like trees, 'di ba? Pag nagtanim ka, bago pa yan tumubo, matanda ka na. So, ang makikinabang na niyan would be yung next
generation. No?
Ano, kaya ba natin gawin to? Can we walk the talk?
Yes, of course. Oo naman. Pero syempre, payo lang natin sa mga senior high, of course, tao lang din, di ba? Especially kayo, mga teenagers, marami pa kayong tao na tatakbuhin your journey sa life or sa buhay. Ayan. So, don't worry, magkukomit tayo ng mistakes. But of course, very important, sa mga mistakes na yan ay we learn from our mistakes.
We learn.
Hashtag hugot yan, sabi ni Sir Rainier. He's watching right now.
Humugot na.
Hi, Sir Rainier. Yan, maraming salamat
hi,
po.
Tutor Rainier. So, Tutor Tony, isang mabilis lang kasi meron akong nababasang comments na ang bilis daw ng ating tutorial. So, guys, pasensya na kayo kasi we are of limited time, di ba, Tutor Tony? Pero you can always replay naman yung sessions. Oo. Kung medyo hindi nyo na-gets yung sinabi ni ma'am, di balikan na lang natin. Pwede naman po yun.
Pwedeng ganun. Yun na yung purpose natin sa ating mga ETUlay para at least may mga hashtag team replay tayo. So don't worry, kayang-kaya yan. Kumbaga, sinasabi nga natin sa mga estudyante, laging mag-invest ng time sa pag-aaral kasi very sure, I'm telling you, mapapakinabangan nyo yan in the future.
Tama. Okay. So, Tutor Tony, wala muna tayong pa-assignment this week. Pahinga muna sila. Magbe-base na lang tayo dun sa ating quiz. Oo, para sa ating mga top students. Yeah. Pahinga muna kayo, guys. Baka nag-aabang sila ng assignment. Ito po yung ating mga references
na ginamit. Yes. And of course, don't forget to always support our hashtag Team Mahusay, our science and technology subjects for the first semester ng ating school year. Starting yan sa ating 3:40 hanggang 5:20 dito sa Gen Bio 1 and kasabay namin ng Media and Information Literacy. And sa feedback, please send us some love, some support. Ayan. Scan lang ang QR code for your comments, suggestions. Ayan, baka may mga words of encouragement kayo sa ating mga tutors. You may also proceed to tinyurl.com/etulay feedback form. So once again, thank you so much. Ayan, you can also send an email sa ating EdTech family. Ayan, maraming salamat sa ating mga directors, ating EdTech unit family. Up next na po, ang ALS LS1 Filipino. Ayan, every Monday, of course, ang ating special program, courtesy of iCreate. Ayan, sa mga gusto mag-animation. iCreate.
Maganda yan, Tutor Tony.
Oo. So once again, maraming salamat. Na-miss ko yung ganito. I'm Tutor Tony of Novaliches High School, SDO, Quezon City. Maraming salamat sa ating mga mahusay na mga tutors, our teachers who shared our live stream. Tutor Wendy.
Thank you, Tutor Tony, sa pagsama sa akin ngayon. And in behalf of Tutor Eric, salamat po. Oo, salamat sa panonood. And see you all next Monday. Thank you po.
Keep safe. God bless, mga anak. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!